Hi from With Your Kids. And this morning we're going to be looking at making a magical happiness tree crown. There is a list of the materials you will need on the front page, and here we have a shot. You are going to need a long length of dogwood, willow or hazelwood in order to make your crown. A method of securing there, I have string. You could also use twine, scissors, and obviously a wide range of coloured wools for decoration. This activity links in with Danny's story, The Happiness Tree. If you'd like to head over to our storytelling area, you can listen to it there. He does show you in the story how to make yourselves a willow crown. I'm going to quickly demonstrate again. You're going to take your long length of willow, hazel, dogwood, and you are going to very, very gently create a happy smile with your willow. That's it, all the way to the end, making sure it's nice and flexible. This might take a few minutes. I've already been working on mine. It's starting to create its curvature naturally. You are quite literally going to create a loop, okay, like so. Almost making like a fish structure, I suppose. You're then going to put your hand through and you're going to start looping your hazel through your structure and through again each time. There we go, starting to bend. Create yourself, there we go, that ring. I think this willow is starting to dry out a little bit. And same with our stiffer end. You're going to either push it through, or if you're turning it around, you're taking your hand through to the end and pulling that back through to create your crown, okay? And there we have the crown structure that is to fit on the head. It's useful to have the child nearby when you are making the crown if it's for a child, just so you can adjust to make sure you have the right size fish shape initially. Although your crown structure is quite solid, we have taken two lengths of about 40 centimeter length of string, and where you have your ends, you can simply create a loop. That's it. Fingers through the loop, catch your ends through. It's a method I use a lot. I find it very useful to work with when I'm doing natural structures. So you have two lengths that you can separate out from each other. One goes in one direction and wraps around like so, nice and tightly. It just creates some tension there. Same, your other length is going in the opposite direction so that you can still tie it easily enough. And there we go. And once you've pulled them both nice and tight, you're just going to create an overhand knot, left over right, right over left, pulling nice and tightly. Like so. And then if you're worried about your other end there, you can do exactly the same. Second length of string, fold in half, just to show you once more. You have your loop, you wrap around, you go with your finger and thumb through your loop, catch your ends, pull them through, pull tight, separate the strings, one in one direction, one in the other, pulling nice and tight, and you are just going to wrap them around your structure nice and tightly, pulling tight at the end and finishing with an overhand knot, left over right, right over left. And you have your crown. For some, this is sufficient. They will then be able to run off and play with their crown and all good. If you want to stay and learn how to decorate, word to note with younger children, if you are using wool, then if you wrap with thin wool, it takes a longer time, and if you wrap with a thicker wool, it's actually going to take you a shorter length of time. So I've created myself two long lengths of the thicker wool. These must be just over 1 meter long each. I've folded them in half, as you're going to learn my favorite loop method. You create your loop, you're going to push that through, pull all your lengths through, a bit like if you're doing macrame. Different pronunciations, so you have lots of different there, but this is going to give me 4 lengths of wool to wrap around the structure of my crown. So you do have to go through each time with this, but as you'll note, it actually wraps 4 times faster than if I was using one piece of wool going backwards and forwards, which would take me a lot longer, and it will take a child a lot longer too. So if your child is younger and has a shorter attention span, it's something to really consider. So you can wrap a section of your crown with relative speed using this method, just like so. Okay, so I've come to a point where I have enough of a length still. I can tuck some of my ends through my crown my fingers, just to give it so that my ends are going to go in opposite directions. This is going to give me the option of being able to tie off really simply using that overhand knot. Again, they may need help with this part because it's quite important that it's tight, like so. And I have some ends there, which we can still leave as part of our structure, and it gives it quite a nice little tail. Okay, and you can continue to do this around the entire crown if you would like to, or you can do sections in different colors. That would give you a really lovely crown. I'll show you one in a moment. Here's one I did earlier. So here is part of the tail or the trail to the back of the crown that I created a little bit earlier. So you can place that on the back, and I can imagine that trailing out behind me. They're very, very simple to make. In order to do this, all you have to do is get your 4 bits of wool or 3, whatever it is you've got. Just get your ends all together and then just pull down the length. So the balls, they're still attached to the balls here of wool. Pull out a nice long length. Use your scissors. Cut yourself a nice length off. As with all of them, you're going to fold in half, so they're roughly the same length at the end. You are then going to take your structure, your lovely happiness crown, create a loop, fingers through the loop, and pull them through. If you do more than one piece at a time, again, it's going to make it much, much quicker. But if you've got lots of individual colors and you want to take the time, you can do them one by one, but it'll take you an awful lot longer to do that. Okay, and then we have the trail at the back of our happiness crown. So if you still have your child's attention and they want to do a bit further, you have a covered ring for going on the crown. You have a trail at the back. You can take one of your pieces or make one that's especially long, and you can twist that and you can wrap that around your crown. So I'll get them to do this part. Any wrapping, usually they can do, you just have to help, sometimes passing through, so they might be the one grabbing and pulling. Okay, and as you take it over, you can hold it in place for them at the top while they put their hands in and pull it through, depending again on age. And you can just wrap that around your structure to give it a bit more color, a bit more excitement, a bit more decoration. That's entirely up to you. Again, as always, when you get to the ends, it's a case of separating and wrapping around. Sometimes when you do it like this, you will have to kind of go back over itself to make sure that it's secure, and it's probably something that you will need to just practice with your child. It's again a very simple overhand knot, nothing difficult left over right, but just to make sure it doesn't slip. Oh, there we go. And you have some ends you can trim off. Again, further methods of adding to decorations, you can tie in colourful leaves, you can tie in colourful feathers, and I'm going to have some fun doing that too, and you can as well. Enjoy making your magical happiness crowns. Let's put those on and let's see some happy faces. Enjoy. See you later from Weeby Kids.